107.5, The Game Podcasting, is sponsored by Modern Exterminating, a family-oriented company. Professional, honest, and dependable pest control solutions. We're your one-stop shop for all pests.
I don't know if this is a referendum on college football where you got Texas, who's number 9 in the country, and goes to Florida, and Florida's on their deathbed, essentially. Billy Napier's pretty much checking out moving companies, trying to figure out his next move in life, and it really wasn't that close. I mean, I had that game on the secondary TV. I had the 2 TVs going on Saturday afternoon for the 3:30 window, and so I was a little more in tune with Alabama Vanderbilt, but I kept looking over, and it felt like every time I looked over, Arch Manning was holding the ball way too long and was getting sacked. And there's so many things to take away from that particular game. And as I said, is it a referendum on college football where you got Florida, who's down and out, don't expect much from them. We're all kind of just waiting to see who the replacement's going to be for Billy Napier, and yet here they are jumping up and beating Texas. Is that because there's parity, which I think there is in college football? Is that because Texas was just wildly overrated? Very possible. Obviously, Arch Manning, wildly overrated for what he was projected to be at the beginning of the year. But what a game that we got on Saturday down in Gainesville from the standpoint of kind of just changing the narrative, if you will, both of the SEC, because that did change, in my opinion, that changed the narrative a little bit of the SEC. You got Florida, who was kind of closer to the bottom of the conference, beating up on Texas, who I think we all thought maybe was a top 3, maybe 4 team here in the SEC. And Texas is not a college football playoff team. They've got flaws. They've got serious flaws. Arch Manning's got flaws. But I feel like that's, to me, another sign that both in the SEC but across college football, it truly, truly is a week-to-week basis. You watch the game early on, it's going to be a true SEC slobber knocker, if you will. It's going to be a physical football game. This is typically, and we're really now starting to have concrete data on Shane Beamer's teams. And by that, what I mean is not this particular team, but his program as a whole. When do they kind of turn a corner? The previous 4 years, it has been about this time that they start to really turn a corner and become a more physical football team. And I don't have an answer for that. I've talked about that a lot, really the last 2 years in the month of August, as it pertains to how South Carolina opens the season and how those opening games kind of go, where it seems like they get shoved around more than they shove around the opposition. But it's about this time that South Carolina tends to turn a corner each and every year, and that you see this team become more physical. Again, last year, you had this time is in between the Mississippi and the Alabama game. But you go back to what they did last year against Alabama on the road in Tuscaloosa, and that offensive line had started to pick up a little bit. The defense had started to pick up. It kind of had transitioned from really kind of a shaky month of September to what they became starting in October. And so I put on Twitter over the weekend that I know this team will be prepared. I think they're going to go out very prepared. I think they're going to be more physical. I think that this will be the most physical game that we've seen South Carolina play, well, especially on the lines of scrimmage, through the first, what will now be 6 games, counting Saturday night. But I think this will be the most physical game that they play, and that kind of circles back to starting for me on the defensive line and limiting what LSU wants to do with that run game and forcing Garrett Nussmeier into beating South Carolina with his arm. He's fully capable of doing it, and he's got weapons at wide receiver. If he's become healthy and his wide receivers have developed a little chemistry over the last 2 weeks, yeah, he is fully capable of doing that, but we don't know exactly what his health is. And so, to me, again, getting a guy back like Gabriel Brownlow-Dindy, having 2 weeks to develop and build the confidence of J.O. and Fred Johnson there at the linebacker position, getting a healthy Judge Collier back, that's pivotal for this defense, in my opinion, to take the steps forward that I expect them to starting this weekend and put South Carolina in a position to win. Look, Baton Rouge is a tough place to play. LSU is a really good football team. They are a super talented football team. You know, they are built on transfers again, so you do wonder mentally where that team is at, a bunch of one-year assassins. But LSU is a super talented team, but I expect this game to be within a score with 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. And South Carolina either having to get a stop to get the ball back or South Carolina having the ball, much like the Missouri game, with a chance to go down and tie it up or even take the lead.